Hey guys, this is a Jaeger task guide for ambulance. For this task, we do have to find in raid and hand over 1 portable defib and 2 CMS surgery kits. So I will say right away that you can craft both these items in your hideout at the med station. One requires level 1 and then the other one requires level 2. And just to clarify for any new players, items that you do craft in your hideout are given the found in raid status. So yes, they can be handed over and used for tasks requiring found in raid items. So portable defibs can be crafted at the level 2 med station by using 1 tool set, 2 magnets, 3 wires, 4 capacitors, and 1 power bank. But it will take just over 5 hours to complete and it will yield you 1 per craft. And then the CMS kit can also be crafted at the med station, but you only need level 1 and it is crafted by using 1 car first aid kit and 1 medical tools. And then this craft will take just under 50 minutes to complete and it will yield you 1 CMS kit per craft. Now, because I know that this is a task that comes down the line, I normally will set aside a few CMS kits if I do find them early wipe, and definitely a defib if I do find one of those during my raids, since I know that this will end up being the difficult item to find for this task. And honestly, during my time playing Tarkov, I've actually found more LEDXs in raid than I have defibs, so they are really quite rare. And by the time that you do unlock this task, if you don't have either one of these items saved in your stash, then the hideout will absolutely be the fastest and easiest way for you to obtain them, since it is going to be guaranteed, rather than going into a raid and hoping that you do get lucky with spawns. However, if your med station isn't leveled up to level 2, then some of the places where you can find a portable defib are going to be inside of med bags, med cases, duffel bags, plastic suitcases, ground and buried barrel caches, and medical supply crates, as well as on dead scavs. But there is also some loose loot spawns on maps where defibs do have a better chance of spawning, similar to a LEDX, and they can be in certain high tier or medical loot spawns. But on customs, you can find it at the old gas station under the giving tree, or also on the table inside the old gas station. And I have actually gotten one on the giving shelf, or at least that's what I call it, which is going to be located under the bridge and then inside of warehouse number 3. And so where the shelf is located is once you enter into warehouse number 3, then immediately on your right, then you will see a shelf there, and then this could be a potential spawn for almost any item in the game. And then apparently there is also a defib spawn at the new gas station on the floor in front of the cash register, but I have personally never seen that. Now on Shoreline, you will have 3 rooms in the East Wing where I have found defibs, being inside the open room East Wing 209 with a spawn on top of the table, 1 on the floor, and then 1 also in the dresser. And then moving down the hallway, then there is also another open room, which is going to be East Wing 219 with a spawn that is going to be to the right side of the table on the floor and also on the box to the left side of the table. And then lastly, there is going to be a locked room on the first floor, being Sanitar's room, which is East Wing 110. But as mentioned, this room is locked, so you will require the office key with blue tape, which is going to be an extremely expensive key, especially the first half of wipe. But once you do go into this room, then inside of the bathroom, then there is going to be a body inside the shower, and then the defib can potentially spawn in next to the body, or it can also spawn just outside the shower and also in front of the toilet. Now moving over to the West Wing up on the 3rd floor, then there is also one good spawn location here, but again it will require a key, being the West Wing room 301 key. And similar to the key with blue tape, it is going to be quite expensive because it is widely renowned as one of the best loot keys in all of Shoreline. But in here, once you go through onto the balcony and then into the adjoining room, then the defib can spawn on the chair next to the table on the left. And as you can see in this video, then it did actually spawn here in this raid for me. So now moving on to interchange, you will have 3 decent spawns, but all of them are going to unfortunately require keys, being the Necros Farm Pharmacy at the bottom of Idea escalators, which will require the Necros Farm key. The next place will be the Emercom Medical Unit, which requires the Emercom Medical Unit key. And then the last room will be the Ultra Medical Storage Room, which is going to be located up on the top floor by TechLight, which will require the Ultra Medical Storage Room key. And unfortunately, this key also does require the power to be restored to the mall from the power station, whereas the other 2 keyed rooms do not require power. Now during this wipe, all of these rooms have been recently buffed, so you do have a much better chance of finding not only a defib, but also much better loot in general than the trash that has been spawning in these rooms over the last 2 wipes. And that's especially true in the Ultra Medical room. As you can see in here, I do end up getting a LEDX during this raid. But just know that all of these different keys are going to be relatively expensive, especially the Emercom key and also the Ultra Medical key. And again, they will mostly be expensive during the first half of wipe, but they will gradually come down in price. Now, apparently there is also a chance to find a defib in Mantis, but it's not going to be very common at all, and I've personally never seen it, so I can't exactly tell you where. And then lastly, there will obviously be potential spawns in labs, but that won't end up being viable for majority of the player base, so I won't waste your guys' time going into details here. But basically, any keycard room or in the unlocked medical hut by the dome will have potential defib spawns here. And then in terms of where to find CMS kits in raid, it can commonly be found in loose medical spawns on all the maps, as well as in med bags, duffel bags, ground and buried barrel caches, medical supply crates, and 5x2 weapon boxes. Or there is also 2 different tasks that will give a CMS kit as a reward, one of them being the supply plans task, and then the other one for completing the survivalist path tough guy. And another thing to mention is that you can actually find a CMS kit in raid and then use it throughout the raid, and as long as there's still 1 out of 5 uses, then you can still hand that over towards the task and it will count. So hopefully you guys found this guide useful and it does help you to complete this task. Thank you guys for watching my guide on this, and hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your day.